Okay, it is 10 o'clock and it's time for us to begin our meetings. We're going to begin with a short one. It's the Flood Control District. This is Tuesday, April the 20th, 2021 at 10 a.m. And we're in the Board of Supervisors hearing room at 1415 Melody Lane. Any item that's on this agenda is open for discussion and possible action. We'll start with the roll call. District 1.
Good morning, Madam Chair. Crosby is here.
District 2, Supervisor English is present. District 3.
Supervisor Judd is present.
Thank you. We have a complete board, and we'll be able to do business this morning. Christine, is it necessary for me to continue to read the information about COVID since we are meeting as a group now?
We have not officially opened up the meeting room to the public. Can anyone from the public just come in, or only if they have an agenda item?
I think these people are all ones who are here because of public hearings today.
I think until we actually open up the boardrooms completely to the public, we'll need to do it.
Due to health concerns related to COVID-19, the board has suspended public group access to conference rooms located in county buildings. Members of the public may attend this meeting via Microsoft Teams, computer, or mobile app, or via phone by calling 602-609-7513 or 888-680-6714. Conference ID 298-279-941#. If you have trouble accessing this meeting remotely, call 520-432-9200 for direction. To comment on an agenda item, email the clerk of the board at board@cochise.az.gov by 5 p.m. the day before the meeting. Please include the date of the meeting and the agenda item number. Call to the public will be suspended during the public health emergency, but comments submitted ahead of the public hearing on specific agenda items will be read during the meeting. We'll begin with the consent agenda for the Flood Control District, which is one item.
Madam Chairman, I move that we approve the consent agenda item number 1.
I second the
I have a
motion.
motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Chair votes aye, and it's approved. Next, we have an environmental or a memorandum of understanding. And Mark Appel, are you available this morning? He's the environmental project coordinator.
Thank you, Madam Chair and members of the board. This is an expansion of a memorandum of understanding that was entered into the county flood control by the Flood Control District back in 2015 for the Cochise Conservation and Recharge Network. This is a collaboration between the City of Sierra Vista, Cochise County Flood Control District, the Hereford NRCD, the Nature Conservancy, the City of Bisbee, and what we're here today is to be a signatory again to the MOU to include Fort Huachuca. So we've been a member of this organization, the CCRN, since 2015, and what we're doing here is just signing the agreement once again to as a gesture to Fort Huachuca, who is joining the CCRN as of this year. I'd be glad to answer any questions.
Anyone have any questions?
I have extensive comments, Madam Chair.
Extensive comments.
Yes, indeed.
All right, let's see if they're all pertinent to the amendment. Okay,
They
the
certainly will
amendment is to the MOU for the addition of Fort Huachuca.
Okay. Last Thursday, I was privileged to speak to Mr. Appel, and I found him to be very knowledgeable in his area of expertise. And we agreed that the requirements about the base flows of the San Pedro River were due to the SPRNCA. Didn't we agree to that? I could say that we agreed about that. So what I've done is prepared some documents, and on the top is a letter from the county recorder that was not ready when we heard about a similar issue a couple weeks ago having to do with the ranchers. This time it is ready, and the first mention of the SPRNCA, which was presumably formed in 1988, was from 1992. The reverse.
Okay, now, we're not referring to the SPRNCA today. This is not the SPRNCA.
Well, this has to do with the SPRNCA because the preserve the base flows of the San Pedro River have to do with the SPRNCA.
with Madam Chair, I understand that we're not really discussing what each of these organizations do, but that we will be bringing the Fort Huachuca in. And I imagine that discussion would be really well had at a SPRINCA meeting or the Conservation District meeting. I'm just guessing that may be valid, but because we're only discussing the MOU, which is a legal document, not regarding actually processes, and what goes on in those organizations, but that we just gather together to discuss those processes. So I don't know that right here we should discuss those processes.
Well, I guess that's my concern. I don't want to go too far afield, and I know you have concerns about this, but I don't know that that's relevant to the document that we're looking at today, which is an amendment to an MOU, which is a memorandum of understanding between the County Flood Control District and the other entities.
Correct.
So could you make the relevancy there for me?
Point of order, which is, point of order is, on February 23rd, I spoke for 3 minutes about the Stone Garden grant, and you spoke for an astounding 13 minutes, 8.5 seconds, according to my precise calculations. You talked about legislation bypassing the board, coordination of funding through the county finance office, bookkeeping without paper and timesheets, weighting of grant fundings to a particular group of deputies, using comp time, holiday pay, too much overtime harms employees, no control over PRS investments. Yet, as far afield as those subjects were, the attorney never cautioned you about being off the publicly posted agenda. And I do believe that my points are extremely important, having to do with the MOU with Fort Huachuca and the flood control agenda.
It's not my business to shut down information that should come before the board in order to help them to make a decision on something that's in front of them right now. So I guess I would ask of you, when you're making these comments, is it because you want to make the comments, or is it because you want to tell us something that would help us make a better decision on this amendment to the MOU?
The second.
Then we'll see how far this goes.
The first letter was from the county recorder, and I have pointed out that the first mention of the SPRINCA, on which the base flows of the San Pedro River are dependent, was first mentioned in county records, according to our recorder, in 1992. The reverse shows a resolution against expansion of the SPRINCA. Quoting the U.S. Constitution on page 3 of what you have with you, the enumerated powers, including purchase of consent of the legislature, are included in the Constitution of the United States. Page 4, territorial jurisdiction, likewise includes purchase and consent of the legislature. Pages 5 and 6, which I have given to you, provide the ARS sections about public lands, which we presume the SPRINCA is. And also that pages 5 and 6, the ARS sections about public lands, and although this county's Chiricahua and Coronado monuments are listed, the SPRINCA is not. Therefore, we don't need a recharge network, and that is why I will be voting against this, and I would urge my colleagues to vote against it also. That's it.
Okay.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Any other comments? I'm looking for a motion.
I have to get back to that page. Madam Chair, I move that we approve an amendment to the Memorandum of Understanding, MOU, among the Cochise County Flood Control District, City of Sierra Vista, City of Bisbee, Hereford Natural Resource Conservation District, and the Nature Conservancy to add Fort Huachuca as a partner to the established Cochise Conservation and Recharge Network.
I second the motion.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion on the issue? Then I will call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. All those opposed?
Nay.
Let the record show that Mr. Crosby voted nay. But it did pass. Before I convene this meeting, I want to tell you that the next board meeting directly following this is the Board of Supervisors meeting, as we always announce. So Flood Control District is gone.